Speaking of retarded, when I went to go see Lord of the Rings, when I went to go see Lord of the Rings, it was in theaters, and I was so excited to see it. I think I was like 9th grade, 8th grade, maybe 8th grade. It came out in 98,
like 99, I think. Yeah.
Okay, 98, 99. So that's 8th grade. And I was with my aunt, and like she's kind of like a hippie, and like I was just like, oh, I want to get high to go see it, and she like gave me like a little joint because she knew I was gonna be alone for the day. She had shit to do. My cousin was doing shit, so I got really high, and I went to the theater, and it was like a matinee, and like the movie had been out for a while now, and like no one had wanted to see it, so we were finally going. I was going to see it alone, and I'm walking down the aisle, and no one's in the theater, and I go and I like sit down like 5th row, and like in the middle, like it's like the perfect seat. And I like look to my right, and I see this like big mentally challenged person, which he probably looked at me and thought the same thing.
Yeah,
but
you give off that aura.
Yeah, and I was definitely emanating it now because I was stoned. So I was like,
yeah, cross-eyed.
Yeah, and I like looking at him, and I look, and he comes in, and he's like on the level, like this level, like his hat is like,
yeah,
like the hat's like
barely on. Yeah,
someone put it on him. Someone put it on him. He didn't put it on even, and like, he was just like jogging pants that are his favorite pants, like fluorescent fanny pack that he'll scream if you touch it. And he's like coming down. He's coming down the aisle here. And like
barreling down the aisle.
yeah. Like, and me too. He looked like me, how I did when I was stoned. And I was like, and like he's coming down, and I'm looking at him, and all I'm thinking is like, it could have been anyone. I would have been like, don't come here, don't come here, don't come here, don't come here. And he like comes to the aisle, and he hasn't seen me yet, and he like turns in the aisle and takes a step, but I like focused all the power I had into like scaring him away. Like he turned, and like my bloodshot stoned eyes, I was like, and he was like duh, 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 and he saw me, and he was like, and he like stepped back and went back a row and just sat there. And I know this guy, I know his type, because I am like that too, to an extent. I was in the optimal seating, and he wanted that. And if I didn't look at him like that, he would have sat next to me, because that's the second best. And he would have done that, not thinking, even though we were in a theater by ourselves, which one time I did sit in the optimal seating, and a mentally challenged person did sit right next to me, but it was a full theater. So like we had no choice. We're right next to each other. And the craziest thing that happened, also once again, I'm super high, but this happened like 3 years ago. This was like Fast and the Furious 15 or whatever. So it was pretty recent. And I'm like sitting in the theater, and I'm looking at the screen, and like something very funny happens that I thought was very funny. It was a very subtle, nuanced joke that just happened to that I found very funny, but not really anyone else in the theater thought it was funny. But it happened, and this mentally challenged guy sitting next to me, the stranger, and it happened, and I was like, and he was next to me, and I guess he thought it was funny too, and happy that I enjoyed it. And he was like, he looked at me, and I was next to him, and I was like, I was like scared, like that wasn't a laugh I shared with you, but like it was like to him, I was like, and he was like, in my face,
like patting you on the back.
That's honestly, that is so sweet. Like
it was.
He's trying to share a social laugh with someone who enjoys something that he does. That's sweet.
And you know what? Like I was like professionally an integration aide for many years. I worked with mentally challenged kids, and like, you know, I volunteered that for years. Like, you know, I was probably like, they're my people. That's me out there. Every single one of them. And like, so I'd like volunteer. Like, so like if I was prepared, I would be embracing. It scared the shit out of me. He was like in my space. Like he was like, and I was like, I was actually like, also I had to tell you, like I was high, like super high. It's like, I was like already like in a place, but fucking, but another
narrowly
sorry.
escaped.
I'm so sorry to hit you guys with like a retard hat trick of a story here.
Just
but
keep going.
Oh, I've got a retard story after yours.
We got 3 hours.
My buddy
Amir.
My buddy Amir, God bless him, chef of EpicMealTime. He's a genius guy. You know, like he's just very like smart sometimes, but he's also like, if you ever watch the videos and you know, you'd met him, Kyle, he's like fucking just crazy retarded person. Like he's just fucking crazy. Like he's so insane. People would meet him and be like, "What's wrong with this guy?" And I'm like, "He's retarded." Me too.
I didn't notice anything. I thought he was fine.
Yeah, he's just like there's a look in his eyes and there's a thing about him.
Was he there for the Star Wars thing, right?
Yes. Yeah. Maybe he was just, you saw him where he had like a set thing of tasks to perform and he loves tasks and a maintained schedule. That's exactly it. Had we shifted something, he would have been like, ah! No, I'm kidding. Not like that, but he is just that type. And I remember one time he got us tickets. Like he's like type, like he got us tickets to a movie in advance, got us our seats. He's waiting there like 3 hours. Like it's the airport. He's chilling there. And then we come, all of his buddies. And there's a guy there that he always tries to race to beat, because that guy, who's fully retarded, wants to get the optimal seating, but Amir wants the optimal seating. And
Wait, they know each other?
Well, they're at every big premiere, like
the same social worker.
Like Amir will be like, my fucking nemesis got optimal seating in Top Gun. He was there before me. I can't believe it. If there was one movie I wanted optimal seating, it was Top Gun. And then it'd be like Jurassic World. I fucking had his ass, and he came with a friend too. Fuck them both. But like they have an ongoing beef.
It's a rivalry.
Like, in my head, I think they're low key best friends. He just doesn't know it. But so this guy who's retarded, who knows Amir is retarded too, because he sees him doing the retard movie thing where he's got to get the seat and he's got to be there for that optimal seating. Like, So this retard's been watching Amir and he sees him and he knows this is like my retarded brother, you know? Then he sees like me and all my buddies come in, and now that other retard's confused because he's like, what? Because we're seeing Amir, we're dapping him up, and this guy's like, how did you, a fellow retarded brother, managed to round up a squad of fucking normies like that, you know? So I'm standing with Amir, and I was like, Amir, I'm like, that retard over there is really checking you out. He's like, which? And I'm like, don't, you know who?
You know, the one you have a rivalry with.
Yeah, recognize Reet, the one that's looking at you right now that knows you're retarded, and you know. And Amir's like, I didn't even see it. And now I'm watching Amir from like a distance. Here I get my popcorn, I stand back, and I'm watching Amir, and I see now that I'm away and Amir's alone, this guy's like, I'm gonna roll up on this dude and I'm gonna ask him like, what are the secrets, you know? And so this like retarded guy starts to approach Amir, who's also a retarded guy, and now Amir, like, he's been doing the long con. He thinks he has us convinced that we don't think he's retarded when we know he is. And so like Amir doesn't want to fuck that up, I guess, or whatever it is. But this retarded guy like walks up to Amir like, yeah, and Amir, he didn't actually do this, what I'm about to demonstrate. It was something different, but this encapsulates it perfectly. Amir, as he came close, Amir was kind of like and that guy was like, oh shit, and like backed away. Like it was like, don't fuck this up for me. And I saw the guy wanted to know, like, yo, how do you hold a conversation with these guys? Like, why don't they know you're like, you keep it a secret? Are you upfront about it or what, you know?
Yeah. He's in the closet. He's in the play chest.
Yeah, well, and that's the same guy that laughed with me, by the way. That's the same guy that sat next to me because I had optimal seating. No, I had optimal seating with Amir, so he ended up next to me because that's the second most optimal seat. It just he happens to be part of both of these stories.
Is there one theater in Canada?
Well,
how are you guys?
I will tell you something.
Showtime for every movie.
If you're this type of person, you want the best.
You want the best seat
in Montreal. There happens to be an IMAX theater that is one of the newest IMAX theaters in all of Canada. So, like, yeah, I'm pretty normal, bro. I'll go see the fucking movie here. That's it. Amir will drive like an extra 35 minutes to get the IMAX experience because like the screen is 20% bigger. And like, that's okay. You know, I'm okay with that.
Although that the field trip to the aquarium with the special ed class where that girl shit herself, that was a fun field trip. That's not even a bad field trip.
That's the type of thing I would call up a friend and be like, I can't believe you were sick today, bro. Shelly, Shelly, she shot herself.
Her name was Michelle, I think.
Michelle.
So close.
Shelly.
I had a feeling.
So my mom taught special ed.
Recognize Reet.
My mom taught special ed, and she was like, Kyle, do you want to tag along with my group of special ed students to go to the aquarium today? And third grade me had no like social awareness, and I was like, the aquarium, also. You say?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. And so I just tagged along with all the retarded kids.
That's awesome.
You have no, sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
My favorite thing.
No, go ahead.
There's no part of you at all, that looks back and you were like, was I retarded too?
Yeah, was it? Did they take me there because I was supposed to be on the retarded field trip, and that was how they broke it to me?
I was a retard. I was retarded. I did in the first grade when everyone was like learning like how to write out all the letters of the alphabet. Miss Monroe would come and she took me, Newton, and Douglas. And Newton was like 5 years older than us for sure in the first grade. Douglas was like, even though I didn't have the word for it, I was like, this kid's retarded. Like, I don't know what I said then, but
you manifested that word like
it's goofy.
Yeah.
It's retarded.
And sometimes like I did things and I was like, I'm retarded. But I had the Miss Monroe would come and I'd be like, peace bitches to like everyone that my buddies over there, because they're going to be writing the words. And I would go with Douglas and Newton. We would like roll clay balls and she'd be like, smooth out the cracks. And I'd smooth it out. And I was just like, you guys are stupid. Like, my life is so much better than yours. And then at the end of the first grade, I remember the teacher being like, and this was really fucked up. This is like 1992, but it's just fucked up. And I remember it so clearly. She goes, everyone passed except for Douglas and Newton. And I was like, oh my God. I thought that I would have had to repeat grade one because I was everywhere with Douglas and Newton. When Douglas and did something, I was there with them. They're rolling clay balls. I'm there with them. An adult is wiping their ass for them. I'm there with them.
You're holding the roll.
Like every step of the way. And so I thought, as I got older, I mean, like, you know, I look back and I was like, I guess I was kind of retarded at the beginning.
You were borderline. They didn't know. They didn't know which path you were going to take.
Exactly. Maybe they were doing like they were running the litmus test on you, the aquarium retard litmus test. Yeah. They're like, bring him too.
Dude, did he shit himself? No. Clean drawers. All right. Fourth grade it is. The rest of you. Go to the closet.
It is wild how similar. I've mentioned on the show before, so I'll be quick. But
no, we're all retards.
I was
not all of us.
I was also in retard reading in kindergarten.
Retard reading.
Yeah, it was me. It was me, Joe, and Travis. And Miss Huffman would say, "It's time for reading. Taylor, Joe, and Travis go to the Miss whoever." And then we would go over there, and exactly the same. The reason I got in trouble is because I figured out I memorized like Susie's red bike instead of learning what letters did. And then she gave me a different book one day and I started reciting Susie's red bike and she busted me. And I remember thinking, like, even in my head at 5, like, you're going to have to learn this eventually. Like, you can't fake it till you make it your whole life. And so I got taken over there and we didn't have clay balls, but it would be the easiest shit ever. It'd be like, Joe, what's wrong with this sentence? And it'd be like, dog, no eat, no eat. And then he'd be like, it should say dog not hungry. And then it'd be like, no, close, like Taylor. And it'd be like, the dog is not hungry right now. And then they'd be like, that's perfectly structured. Here's a Tootsie Roll. And I'm like, dude, I'm banging on all cylinders here. Because next to Travis and Joe, I was fucking Steph Curry, swish, 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 didn't miss, constant aces, high fives from the teacher. I'm breaking the curve in the retard reading course. And then I got pulled out of it and they put me back in the regular class before the end of kindergarten. That's so funny that we were all retarded.
Oh, dude. My story is a little bit different. I was in high school and I met my best friend this way. Shout out Samantha if you're watching, listening, whatever. But she just kind of saw me in the halls in high school, and she's like, "Oh, that kid's kind of cute. I think I'm going to try to talk to him." But then after like a couple days of seeing me in the hall, she said that she thought I was retarded, so she didn't talk to me. And I said, like, what? Well, glad you asked. Me and my friends, we were just, I don't even know how to describe it, just terrible people. So we would go into, for example, like the restroom, and we just start screeching like pterodactyls. We would just walk around making awful noises like that.
I have an extremely loud scream. It sounds like I could sound like literally like in a horror movie, like a woman screaming at the top of her lungs.
Oh, like
and I used to walk into the school bathroom,
we all
scream as loud as I could.
It's funny, yeah.
And then I'd walk out normally, like nothing happened, and I didn't even.
That's what I would do.
And I'd walk and do my thing while everyone's like looking at the door, like, "What the fuck happened in there?"
Me and my buddy Brandon would walk in. We would sometimes get in a stall with somebody in the middle taking a shit and just start pterodactyl screaming on both sides while this person's taking a shit. We would walk out, and then we'd start making other noises, and she's just like, "That kid's retarded." And then, like, after a couple weeks, somebody had asked about me, or she asked about me, and they're just like, "No, he's not retarded. He's in like advanced English. Like, what are you talking about? He's just autistic or something. I don't know."
Yeah, he's the only guy in the world who writes in shit on the wall but uses semicolons.
Yeah, he was reciting Shakespeare in there with a turd in his
two
hand,
independent clauses.
Listen, I don't want to put you on the spot, and it's totally not a big deal. It's like not even important, but you look like you still have that pterodactyl screech.
I still want to do it in public.
I mean, you're more than
would you bang one out for us
where somebody will hear it? I mean,
no pressure. You don't even have to.
I'd like to see personally who has the better screech.
Okay.
People are gonna hate this.
Scream.
People are gonna crash to this.
I disagree. People are out there like, are they going to do it?
They're turning their volume up right now.
People love that in podcasts when people randomly scream.
Well, it won't be random. I'm calling for it.
All right, here we go.
You know, it would be in fairness, it would be better with the resonating factor of the bathroom. I can see what you're going for, but the same way singing in the shower, you get that bathroom scream, you're going to get some resonation. I bet it's pretty respectable in there.